Sye, can you explain the principle of absolute morality to me, please?
Okay, do I have to explain it logically, Paul?
Well, that's just going back to flogging the dead horse. Can you explain it in your own words?
Yes, I can, but does it have to be logical? I'll be happy to discuss morality with you, Paul, and we don't have to talk about logic, but just yes or no, do my answers have to be logical?
Go on then. They can be logical.
It can be illogical? I'm sorry, I missed that.
This is dancing around the issue. Are we going to talk about logic, or are we going to talk about morality?
We're going to talk about morality, Paul, but in order to know how to have this discussion, I'd like to know if my answers have to be logical or not, according to your worldview. And
according to my worldview, yes.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, thank you. Go on. What would you like to know?
Could you define what you understand absolute morality to be?
Absolute morality is based on the character of God. People often make the mistake that they say that it's based on God's commands, but it's not. He commands things according to his character and his nature. And I'll give you a quick example. I don't want to take up a lot of your time. But for instance, when we say that it's wrong to steal, that it's not because it's an arbitrary command of God. It's because we are created in God's image. And we are not to steal because God is not a thief. And if we steal, we're lying about who God is. So morality is not something that God commands arbitrarily. It's a reflection of his nature.
So does that mean that morality, in terms of being absolute, is unchanging throughout time?
That's correct, Paul.
Okay. I find that quite interesting. So, if we have somebody who is, and this is hardwired into the human brain by God as our creator, is that correct?
It's written on our hearts, as it says in Romans. That's correct.
Okay. So morality doesn't change. It's hardwired into us so that everybody, wherever they are born in the world, is in possession of this framework of absolute morality. Is that correct?
That's correct, Paul.
Okay. What would happen to an individual psychologically if they acted in contravention of that absolute morality that is hardwired into them?
Paul, I think
would they be aware of it?
Well, I would say that, of course, they would be, because you're one of those people who's doing just that thing. So maybe you can give us the account of what that feels like.